Welcome back to the Knife Box channel, Watchbox Edition. I'm your host with the most, as always, Alex. Morning decisions like what knife or what watch to carry can be a real challenge. That's why I make these necessary videos, to help you assist in the same decisions. This feature won't be my usual sharp and shiny thing that I usually obsess over, but a ticky and tactile thing. That's right, a timepiece. In full disclosure, I'm new to the watch world, so you must forgive me for my lack of technical jargon. I don't know any better. So Zelos, a brand founded in 2014 on the east side of the world in Singapore. And let's face it, it's a country full of hardcore watch enthusiasts. The watch in review is a limited edition version of the ever so popular Swordfish, designed by Edition Tang. Starting off with 3 incredibly successful Kickstarter projects, he has now become a worldwide known brand name. My initial impression of Zelos was, wow, look at those dials. With the use of exotic materials such as meteorite, carbon fiber, titanium Damascus, and other materials, the Zelos watch is quite eye-catching. This run came in 60 pieces, came in 4 variants, and starting off with these 2 case colors, blue and bronze. The Titanium Damascus version also came in 2 dial versions. This really classy black sand or out of this world meteorite. You see what I did there? Okay, let's continue. First, let's thank Jiro for sending this awesome watch along. On a day-to-day carry, the Titanium Damascus case with these tropic-style straps make this watch deceptively light on the wrist. At first, these straps felt a bit stiff, but with warming up from the skin temperature, they seemed to supple up about 15 minutes later. I really like the black coated crown to match up with the straps. It's also to note that the combination with the sapphire crystal, anti-reflective coating, and the large markings really allow clear visibility in even the strongest of glares. So how does that 120 click titanium Damascus bezel sound? Yup, it's not for everyone. It's strong. Not too much elegance, but more muscle if you will. Personally, I kinda like it. It's very tactile. It does allow for less resistance of accidental movement of the bezel unintentionally, although that's kind of an extreme situation. The louder click bezels seem to be a characteristic of most titanium watches anyways, but this one is definitely a little more on the extreme side. Last thing I do not want to pass over is the lume. This is something that I found out this brand is highly praised for. I love the combination of the C3X1 markings in high contrast with the BGW9 chapter ring. The looms get an 8 out of 10 for me. And that's just because, although it gets very bright, it just doesn't outlast some of my other watches. Overall, the Swordfish was much more than what I expected. It's more than just fancy materials, but it's also a great value and design. Hence, after getting this one for review, I bought my own, and I've been wearing it consistently since. I plan to buy a couple more at this point, as I'm sold on the Zelos brand. I like the uniqueness, and I do like the whole world of the Microbrand. As a new watch collector, Microbrands is something that I was kind of worried about initially. Why, you ask? Well, the security of buying well-known established brands locally in a secure environment with secure warranties. However, mainly Seiko's, Hamilton's, G-Shocks, I felt like now it was time to move on to some new and exciting areas of watch collecting. And I must say, Zelos is a #1 winner for me. So let's wrap up a few thoughts about this Zelos Swordfish. Now this variant right here in bronze titanium Damascus is obviously the extreme, and on the extreme side of price. But when I went through the site, Zelos watches seem to be quite affordable for what you get. I think the only complaint that I see about this watch, other than the clicking bezel, is the fact that the watch only supplies an NH35 movement by Seiko. But I argue, only an H35. However, it's a movement that's utilized in thousands and thousands of watches. And the movement is reliable, it's robust, it can take a beating, and it's very easily serviceable and replaceable. So why not? Topped off with a top hat dome sapphire crystal, I really like the look of this. It almost brings a bit of retro diver look to it. Next, let's talk about this dial. It's remarkable and outstanding. I can see how some might find meteorite a bit obnoxious or loud, depending on the situation. Personally, I love the shimmer and the contrast, and multiple layers and the depth that comes out through this dial. Each one of these have been personally anodized by Elshin himself in 350 degrees Celsius. The handset is a baton style, which I really can appreciate its simplicity and legibility. Overall, the dial makes sense, the movement makes sense, the case makes sense, and the straps make sense. This whole watch was really well thought out, and I really find this one to be extremely special. So special, in fact, as I mentioned, I ended up buying my own. Well, that'll about wrap it up for tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed this feature on the Zelos Swordfish.